Tonight, the community packed into a local church to remember that girl tonight. And the parking lot you can see there was filled with cars at Deerbrook Covenant. And this story may have you wondering about your own kids. Are they okay? How do you even ask? KCTV5's Betsy Webster talked to the child psychologist to get some advice and is live with his warning about why that conversation, Betsy, should happen now.
Well, that's right. You know, whether your kids go to Lee Summit North or not, they've probably heard about what happened today. And that psychologist says that studies show that these sorts of tragedies often, quote, cluster together, meaning that one can lead to another. Whether it's Facebook, Snapchat, or some other electronic outlet, word spreads faster now than ever.
And we know that when there are suicides and things like this that happen, there's a contagion effect, and for those kids who may be at risk to start thinking about harming themselves.
Child psychologist Stephen Lassen says usually opening a line of communication about your child's well-being is best done in casual conversation, regularly, without forcing it. But on a day when this happens, a sit-down is warranted. For example,
I saw something on the news today where a student at this high school killed herself. And that was scary for me, and I wanted to check in with you and see how you were doing with that and if you had any questions. As for what happened at Lee Summit North today, there are still a lot of questions. So many people want to know why. But Lassen cautions against rushing to judgment. Human nature is to want to understand and predict and explain things. And unfortunately, sometimes we just can't. Now, going back to social media where we started, he says that one thing he recommends for parents is to find out what social media platforms your kids are on, get the passwords so that you can stay on top of those. I mean, as best as you can. That can be difficult, I think. But he says that the kids are going to talk on social media about things that they might not talk with you about, and so that is one other way to try to stay on top of where your child is emotionally. Live in Lee Summit, Missouri, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
Thanks, Betsy. Tonight, Lee Summit North football game was postponed because of this, and it's been rescheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m. There is help available for those who need it. The Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255. It's free and confidential support that's manned 24/7 every day of the year. You can also chat live with a counselor by logging on to suicidepreventionlifeline.org. We have that link in every one of our web stories tonight.